In this video, I am going to be telling you what the first steps are if you're looking to transform your physique, particularly over the age of 30. These steps and doing them in the right order are absolutely crucial to whether you can get into the shape of your life after the age of 30, when you may be in a position where you thought your best training days were behind you. But why should you listen to me? Well, because I actually got into the shape of my life at 32 years old after years and years of training, being unsure whether to cut, being unsure whether to bulk. It actually took me until that age to follow through, to do it in the order that it needed to be done. And now I've managed to maintain that physique and actually build on that over time. And also as well, for the last 6 years, I've been an online coach and I've helped hundreds of guys do exactly the same to get into the shape of their lives, but also to fix the relationship with themselves and become a more confident version of themselves. But before we jump into the video, I have got a full free physique transformation guide that's going to go through everything you see in this video. It's completely free. It's there in the description. You can download that, and that means you can get going on this straight away. Let's get into the video. So the question is, should you bulk or should you cut? And this is a question that people have come to me with in the past. It's something you've probably considered yourself, because in most cases, most fellas want to be leaner, and what they mean by leaner is they want to have less body fat, they want to be more muscular, but they worry that if they cut too early, they're going to lose all the muscle and feel skinny. But then they worry if they go on a bulk that they're just going to get fat. So I'm going to go through with you what you want to be doing, really, that's going to help you move forward. So in 99% of cases, the first thing you want to be doing is pulling off any excess body fat. Because for most people, you're not actually as lean as you think. Like, I've had guys come through that are actually in all right shape. They're already training in the gym. They want to put some muscle on. They want to go in a bulk. And I've had to stop them and say, look, trust me, for the next 12 weeks or so, let's pull off some body fat. Let's get you into a position where you're nice and lean, so your body's going to be more receptive to putting muscle on. So you're probably not as lean as you think you are, or how lean you need to be able to put muscle on. And something to remember as well is, if you are already carrying quite a bit of weight, even if you are carrying muscle and you're looking to put more on, but you're carrying some excess body fat, when you bump your calories up, you are going to put body fat on anyway. And that's even if you're doing it from a lean position. So if you're already carrying too much fat, you may put muscle on, but you're also going to put more fat on. You're going to hate the way you look. You're going to feel absolutely shit. So then what you're going to do is you're going to panic, you're going to crash your calories, and then you're just going to end up in this cycle without getting anywhere. Now, the main thing to remember with this as well is, as you pull off body fat, in most instances, as long as you're training hard, you're training with progressive overload, you're getting enough protein in, you are going to actually look bigger, because the muscle that you do have, you are going to maintain. And as you are pulling off the body fat, you're going to be able to see the muscle that you've got that you may not have been able to see before because it was under the fat stores. But then, like I say, you're going to look bigger, you're going to be leaner, but your body is going to be in a position to pack on some quality muscle. And here is how you are going to do it. And again, it is all laid out in the free physique transformation guide. The reason it's free is because I want you guys to be able to get it and hit the ground running straight away. So like I said, that is in the description. Get that downloaded and it is all yours. So I'm going to use myself as the example and exactly how we did it. First thing you want to do when you're in a cut is to commit to a timeline. Because if you don't know when the diet's ending, because you are going to have to push yourself when you are in a fat loss phase, you are going to be hungry at times, your energy may be sapped a little bit at times. But if you've got a timeline on it, when you know, right, it's the last 2 weeks of this cut, you can really dig deep and go, right, here we go, like I said, this last couple of weeks. And then at that point, you can assess where you are. So you could do 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks. It all depends on your physique at the moment and how much fat you've got to lose. But what I would recommend is committing to a timeline. And if you've still got more body fat to lose, have a week where you bring your food up to maintenance, or even just a little bit higher, to make sure you're satiated, get your body firing again, and then get back into that deficit and do it again for another period of time. That, rather than just dieting non-stop for 20, 24, 26 weeks, because at some point you're going to think, fuck this, it's just not worth it. So for me, the timeline on my fat loss was 16 weeks. So I started out here at 92 kg, and over the next 16 weeks, we actually dropped 16 kg. So the first thing we did was we got myself into a calorie deficit of around about 500, so it was fairly aggressive. So like I said, there's plenty of macro calculators online, nice and easy. Put your details into there and it'll pull something up for you there, and if it's fat loss you want, you'll be able to select that, and it'll give you a starting target. Now, it is different for everyone. People's bodies respond in different ways. So this is just the starting point, because you're going to be working off the data anyway. So this doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. So we started off with a calorie target, and then we started off with a step target. There was no additional cardio or anything like that. We didn't go 20,000 steps a day, 45 minutes of cardio and a training session. It was a nice, simple lifting plan, progressive overload, starting off with a step target, which was 10,000 steps, and starting off with a calorie target, which was 2,100. Now, to start off with, for the first few weeks, I did drop a lot of weight, but that was to be expected because I had just come back from a honeymoon, so there was a lot of water weight, a lot of shite to come out. So it did start slowing down after that and go at a more steady rate, but to start off with, it did go really, really fast, but we didn't add anything else. We just literally kept it at that. So what I would do is I would weigh myself each morning in kgs and then take the average for the week. And as long as we were coming down, we were dropping like a kg a week. Some of them earlier weeks, it was more than a kg a week. So there was no point changing anything. We didn't have to change anything. Everything was going at a good pace. If anything, it was probably going too quick, but obviously we knew there was going to be a little bit of water weight, and that's something to keep in mind for yourself. When you first start, the first few weeks, it will probably come off faster, but then you've got to just level it out there as well. And again, with the lifting in the gym, it was literally 4 days a week, simple exercises. Every session, it was just a case of trying to push for an extra rep or an extra little bit of weight, or as a minimum, hold what I did last time. And that was going to make sure I held on to the muscle mass that I already had as we were pulling off the body fat. Now, also to touch on as well, if you do start to plateau, the first thing you want to look at is, have you hit your targets for that week? Not have you hit your calories Monday to Friday, then gone off plan at the weekend. Not I haven't hit my step target, whatever that may be. And instead of adding more, just focus on hitting that for the week, because if you've struggled to hit that, then adding more is just going to cause more stress, and it's going to make things harder, and it's more likely that you are going to quit. So that's why it's important to start off with targets, hit them for the week, and if things are going in the right direction, you don't need to go to the extremes straight away. But then weight did start to plateau, and that was round about the 10-week mark. So at that point, that's where we added in a little bit of cardio, we added a few more steps, and we pulled the nutrition down, the calorie target down. We kept the protein target the same, and we pulled that down slightly. Now, you can make the alterations to just one of these, or you can do it as a combination of the three, which accumulates more of a calorie output for the week, and that's what we decided to do. And then we didn't actually need to make any more changes. So we got down, by the end of the 16 weeks, we were 16 kg down, a hell of a lot leaner, looking pretty good as well, because we retained the muscle mass that we've got. And then we reverse dieted out of it, so there'll be another video on reverse dieting, but essentially we brought the food back up to maintenance, monitored everything, like our daily weight, average weight for the week, training, all that kind of stuff, and then slowly brought the food up and slowly brought the intensity of the sessions up, and then we put on some good quality mass. Now, this is the order you want to be doing things. This is where I was 5 months later. Now, if I just tried to bulk from this, my starting position, then I would have just got fatter. I would have hated how I looked, and I would have gone on the cut too early. And this is a position where a lot of people start out at, but because we dropped the fat first, and then we looked to put the muscle on, we got the results we've got, and I'm still in really, well, in my opinion, really good shape at the moment, and that's because we did this correctly. So the answer to the question, should I cut or bulk first? In 95% of the cases, it is a cut, unless you are already, in your own admission, pretty skinny and you need to be putting some muscle on, but you almost have abs because you are that light. That's a position where you do want to go straight into a bulk. But for most people that are looking to start out, most people over the age of 30, that is what you want to be doing first. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you took something away from it. If you did enjoy the video, please like, share, subscribe. And like I mentioned before, this is all laid out in the free physique transformation guide, which is in the description below. If you did enjoy it as well, pop onto Instagram, Ricky_halfpenny_fitness. Give us a follow on there, and I will see you on the next one.